Hi, welcome to another vid. So we had the inspiration during the last video when we were talking about the rising costs of this lifestyle, right? From the tiny home living, from the tiny home movement to like trailers and van life movement, right? And we got this spur of the moment idea of something we been wanting to address, right? Another topic we also wanted to address. Basically, it also ties in with the last vid when we spoke about the youth and their disillusionment was the word I was looking for in the last thing. Their disillusionment when it comes to their future and the future of society, right? It's that sense of hopelessness, and I'll be frank about it. We as adults, a lot of us who kind of realistic about things, we kind of feel the same to a certain degree, right? With the exception of the consideration that it would take you seriously stepping out of your predetermined norms for you to be able to rewrite a different script for yourself. 70% of the population basically live paycheck to paycheck, right? And they have this generation, and let's say this generation and the generation before it, they basically, unless it's like inherited or something along that line, they literally do not have any hope of ever possibly owning their own house in Toronto. It's like physically impossible for them. Like at the rate they're going, like they just don't see that it's possible, and that's tracked and traced, right? You're literally talking about people that will literally have to be renting. They're caught up in the cycle. That's if they want to, for one, if they want to remain in the city, caught up in the cycle of renting for the rest of their life without never owning a property of their own, right? That is like something unheard of, because even in like third world, call it developing nations, like it's one of the fleets right now. I think it would be way easier for you to be able to own a house in the Caribbean than it would be for you to ever own a house here, right? It's come to a point where there isn't any more long-term, I need to accomplish this to retire vibes with me anymore. It's literally just leave. I want to leave and I want to do this, that, right? I don't want to leave and work towards owning nothing or whatnot. I want to leave and work towards doing certain things, right? There's a lot of stuff I want to try. Because of the disillusion, the increasing disillusionment in society, that alternative lifestyles have become so many people are gravitating towards it now. And then with the increased demand comes, prices raise across the board, right? So it's becoming it's quickly becoming less affordable, and especially if you want to get into those brand new pieces, like those brand new vehicles, those brand new vans versus the older models, or if you want to go for something custom that's built for you versus you doing your building yourself and your customization yourself. There's just so much now. It's become it's become an industry. They've commodified it, right? And you have people that's just promoting the lifestyle and live at their houses, but then just do it for the YouTube numbers, and it's a business for them, right? But then I still try to keep in touch and try to follow and keep tabs on with people that are actually existing in the lifestyle. I rather the small channels, the small YouTube channels that actually focus on showcase the actual lifestyles, people that actually live it. You could tell they live it. I don't like too much production and nothing like that. I want to see these people like straight up show me like what you're doing, how you're living and whatnot. Pretty soon as it gets warmer and I organize my stuff better, I might give a little showcase of how I have everything set up myself too. Don't expect or see myself to be based on purchasing like $1 million house here, or like not million, like right now $1 million is not even feasible. Like you're talking about 2 million plus mil plus, you know, for a bloody house. Unless you could come up with the cash for it, you know, the bank is like a whole other story, right? So it's just not feasible for a lot of people. And if I have to own something, like literally, I prefer to own something like not in this temperate climate, right? I prefer like at least like a tropical climate where eventually you could plant all year round, you could grow, you could relax, the cold is not an issue. Obviously, the same way like nobody wants to retire in the cold, right? So it's the same story. But then to accomplish that, like I said, you need to step out and do something drastic. Like for example, taking this move, taking a step like this and being able to save money at the rate that you're able to save it, leading up to retirement versus having to spend all that extra money on so many things. This is a big plus. Much less if you could invest that money, so much, you would probably you get to save so much more money. Even if you want to do this on a short-term basis, you get to save so much more money that you would be spending on, like if it was like if I had like a consistent job, my budget of let's say an extra 2,000, extra 2,200 per month could be budgeted towards like savings only, because it's something I used to spend on my last apartment. So now you should be able to put that aside, right? And be able to work towards your goals in a shorter window. And if you manage to even invest intelligently, maybe invest some of that money intelligently into some like decent initiative, flip it, double it, you're hustling, consistent hustling, whatever you're doing, you know, and fuel the finances to get to the point where you could start laying down the roots of your dreams, you know, your goals. Otherwise, like, to just stay in the consistent 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck, rent an apartment, being able to buy clothes, shoes, look good, pay your car payments, go out, but you, like, if you were to lose that job, you just, everybody like 2 paychecks away from like just losing everything. I'm telling you, it's no joke. I went through that shit myself. Like 2 to 3 paychecks away max from your like shit just starting to crumble around you, right? So for me, versus staying my entire life and coming to the point where I look back and say to myself, brother, but I spent like the last 10, 15, 20 years sometimes renting this bloody apartment with no idea of how I'll gravitate beyond this point. I rather not, man. I rather take that little drastic extra step and do what you gotta do. Feel me? And hopefully you're able to build a firm enough foundation to be able to plant the actual tree you want to see bear fruit, right? Versus having to like pick trees on people's fruit for them and just like getting paid if some rhymes and shit, you know. Excuse my language, but yeah, just taking charge of your destiny, right, to a certain degree. And financial sovereignty is a huge part of it, and establishing your financial sovereignty to a degree is for me one of pivotal part of it, right? And in societies like this, designed as though it's nearly impossible for you to get a foot in the door, the middle class is getting wrecked. It's just like the poor class, and the people who think they were middle class, they get pitted apart against the lower class. The lower class is just basically the slave class, and it's just the upper class. And even the upper class is divided into like the 1%ers and just the haves, and then that super elite 1%ers, right? So it's wherever you go, whether it be abroad, whether it be here in whether it be local, like from back home in the Caribbean, if you'll end up seeing this, or it be abroad, it's the same story, man. Wherever you go in the world right now, that's what it is. That's how it is. That's what it's like, right? So it's just being able to just step out of the paradigm and creating that life of abundance and success for yourself by stepping out of the paradigm, stepping out of the accepted norms, but staying in the grind and the 9 to 5. Trust me, no man ever got rich and successful in life over looking for another man, right? That's it for today. Stay up. One.